Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 108. I'm on my coffee break. Well, it's actually cold chocolate and of course paired with a very yummy Krispy Kreme, which I ordered for a takeout. But anyway, today we're talking about two games available on the not two games, a single game. Obviously, they're the same game available on the PS Vita and on the Nintendo Switch. I started this last week and the other day. It's called Undertale, and initially before it took a long. This is already out for a long time on the Vita and on the Switch. And initially I thought it was just a simple RPG that pays homage to the old RPGs on the SNES, Earthbound, or initially it's originally called Mother. The trilogy is actually translated. It's fun translated on the Game Boy Advance. That's where I played it. Mother 3 in particular is very good. But yeah, it's like some sort of detailed SNES RPG. Let me try if I can start it right here so that we can see the title. But basically, yeah, that there, Undertale. It's like a 16-bit RPG. The details is awesome. Like for example, you have your reflections on the mirror, and then when you pick something up, like a slice of cake, the whole cake, you see the missing slice and so on. They pay very particular attention on the details, and I thought, yeah, Undertale, the art style and the intro, it's very similar to Earthbound, and in fact, it even sounds parodize. It makes a parody of the existing RPG. Like the first character that you meet, that is like a big goat lady. I believe her name is Toriel or something like that. She's the one that gives you the tutorial, and yeah, and literally she holds your hand. Like the tutorials that we're used to in the old RPGs, where yeah, there's a lot of hand holding. Like when you do this, press A and go to the menu and equip this, equip that. And in here, there's a literal hand holding. Like she will really hold your hand, your avatar, your character, and then you go to this place, you go to that place, and so on. But the thing that sparked me, so if it was just like that, like a mere Earthbound clone, then I wouldn't have. Initially, that's what I thought, and then I just for the heck of it, I started it. I was so surprised that the battle mechanics is actually bullet hell. So it's like you have this enemy. So typically in your typical RPG passion, you just choose that option, you choose an attack, and then until the enemy reaches zero. Here, what you do is, so during the enemy's turn when he attacks, you actually, there's like a mini screen where there are like a bullet hell of bullets, and then you get to dodge these bullets, and then when you dodge them perfectly, then you don't get hit. And I really love that because I'm a fan of bullet hell and shmups in general, and I'm pretty good at it. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, it's very weird. The writing is very nice. Of course, I haven't finished it. I'm still starting it, but due to the fact that it is bullet hell, then I am very much enamored with it. So now the thing is, I'm confused whether I should play it on my Nintendo Switch or on my PS Vita, because on one hand, I'm not sure if there's like HD Rumble. So if there's like some sort of HD Rumble present, then obviously I'm gonna play it on the Nintendo Switch. But if there's none, then the OLED screen, even on my camera, even on my crappy Android cell phone, you can see the contrast, the sharpness on the PS Vita OLED screen is so much better than the IPS screen on the Nintendo Switch, because so this is a PS Vita pat, so the screen is OLED, so the colors really pop, like you can see on the camera. And when you look at it personally, like you look at the pink on the border, it's really so pink. The black is really insanely black, and so on. So it's very nice on the to be played on the PS Vita. But yeah, anyway, that's the game feature for this week. Let me put this aside. And yeah, for the Postdoc Chronicles, so we had the very first meeting after the August was like the summer break. So there was actually no CERN meeting, no Atlas meeting during that month. But we had the first meeting last Friday last week, and yeah, it's like a round table of generators. But then Giancarlo asked me, to give some updates on what's happening so far in the Pythia validation. And I told them, yeah, I've been doing the dijet sample. So I actually have now in the lower end of the slices on the soft QCD minimum bias side, the match between the plots of the VINCIA, Dyer, and the default part and shower is actually very nice. Like there's no suspicious variable that overshoots, or that is very different. There are some plots where VINCIA is very slightly different, but it doesn't look like it's something that should cause for an alarm. But Simone, one of the like the head or assignee for that, also asked me to look at the. He said because when Vincia and Dyer were implemented in Pythia 8.3, he actually tried them and he tried to reproducing some plots on the original Vincia and Dyer paper themselves, and then he could not reproduce their plots, and then he was told by the author, maybe you're doing something. So he asked me if I could also, on top of the validations that I'm doing on the specific job options right now, which is currently dijet. He told me to look at the plots that they have. So right now I look at the very first Vincia papers and then the Vincia 2.0. So in fact the very first Vincia paper I read it was in 2008. So basically it's like an algorithm, that does a parts on showers on top of the default. So there are like there are subtle differences between the different algorithms, but basically it stands for virtual. The Vincia VI is from virtual, and then N is numerical. C is collider with interleaved antenna. Okay, and then yeah, they have these antenna terms. That's where the name comes from when they do the factorizations. But anyway, yeah. So before 8.3, Vincia was a separate plugin actually to Pythia. So it's a separate a plugin that you interface with Pythia. But then in the most recent 8.3 is a huge update. These plugins, including Dyer, which I'm gonna talk about later. I haven't read the Dyer paper, but right now I'm looking at the Vincia and the Vincia plots. So before 8.2, these are plugins, that you interface with your Pythia installation. But in the advent of Pythia 8.3, these are now built-in options within Pythia itself that you can switch on or off. So if you want like Vincia, if you want Dyer, then you can do that. And so yeah, I'm looking at the paper. The one I'm looking right now is a Drellian to EE, and then to some other leptons, some Mu Tau Tau. But yeah, they have the plot for Drellian EE, some kinematic plots right there. So I'll try to reproduce to those and see if I'll get a different result just like Simone, or if I'll be able to get the what they had on the paper. And yeah, it's really important because before we include the 8.3 in like a stable release or a build of Athena, then we should do that. Yeah, and also right last Friday we were supposed to have a meeting with Jong and Roberto to talk about the latest updates so far in MUED, but unfortunately Jong wasn't able to make it. I believe he was busy with his work, so we didn't have it. Maybe this week we'll hold a meeting and then I'll update you accordingly in our Postdoc Chronicles. But yeah, that's the update so far. In the Maverick Top Hunter, I'm still working on the fine rules, so it's not yet done because there are a lot of Lagrangians, and then some Lagrangians are like approximations of the original ones. So I'm still looking at which specific Lagrangian, which specific Lagrangians in the different sectors they considered. Should I be encoding or incorporating in the fine rules that I'm doing right now? But anyway, this has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 108. I'm gonna continue eating my snacks right here. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.